Hey guys, it's Pat from Pat's Brewery and we're going to be tasting a little beer today. It is a very hot day, not as hot as it has been, but hot enough that actually that glass is warm. Let's see if I have any glasses that aren't. But they are all warm, so lack of preparation there. Whoops. It's not great. What beer are we trying? Well, it's now a fruited beer. This is a cherry wheat beer. A little bit ahead. There we go. So this is the beer. Now, this beer was kind of inspired by, I think there's a beer called Super 8 Cherry. A friend of mine put me onto it. I did try the beer the other day and actually didn't think that Super 8 was that great, but it's alright. But anyway, that's what inspired this beer. I didn't have any information on the original, so I was just looking into fruited beers, and what I came up with was simple grain bill, 2 kilos of wheat, and I think it was about just short of 3 kilos of Pilsner malt. With regards to the hopping, we used enough to get, I think there's 23 IBUs from Challenger hops. And with regarding flavouring, during the brew day we used freeze-dried cherries. I got I think it was a 500 gram bag of freeze-dried cherries, and I think I stuck in about 300 grams worth into the whirlpool, and then we dry hopped it, or fruited it, shall I say, after the main fermentation was done. And I used a 1 kilo cherry puree, and I also used, I think, 3 bags at about 350 grams of pop. So what's that? Just over a kilo of frozen cherries. So as far as colour, loving the colour. Taste, yeah, as long as you like cherries, this tastes like cherries. It's got a slight, it's not sour, and it's not bitter, but it's definitely got that cherry bite. Not that cherries really have a bite, but yeah. With regards to what yeast I used a I think is it the WB06? I think that's the wheat beer yeast. I used 2 packs of it because I bought 1 fresh pack, and it turns out I had a pack that I'd had for absolutely ages. It went out of date probably last year or the year before, but I thought throw that in as well. You know, even if it's just, you know, take part as a yeast nutrient. I do like this. I think this is exactly where I would want a cherry wheat beer to be. As far as the actual beer name, I keep on referring to it as just a wheat beer. I don't know. I don't know if you can really call this a Belgian, a fruit, but I've got an idea of calling it the Fruity Belgian. sits at 5.3%. It's quite a nice and refreshing beer, actually. I think I could probably drink quite a few of those. I mean, if it wasn't as hot as it was and my grass needed cutting, I'd probably do a bit of gardening and enjoy these while doing it. But no one should be gardening in this blistering heat. Really happy with how this has turned out. It's only been conditioning for I think 12 days, so a little bit more to it. I mean, with regards to the carbonation, there's some bubbles hanging around the bottom of the glass, slowly dripping up to the top. Was able to generate a little bit of head, but retention isn't really there. But I actually don't find that. Actually, I found this recently. A lot of beers, their head retention, and I mean commercial beers, head retention's been appalling recently. I haven't seen very many beers at all where the head hangs around for any serious amount of time. I mean, yeah, like you can rouse them and stuff, but you know, head retention just isn't a thing that people seem to be going for. And I know that obviously, you know, based off of popular styles and bits and pieces, then head retention isn't as important. But even with some lagers that I've had, head retention hasn't been all that. And I always used to think that, you know, a good lager should hold on to that head. But anyway, yeah. So this was a pretty simple brew, and potentially I'd brew this again. As I say, as long as you like cherries, you're fine. If you don't, then it's definitely not for you. But yeah, so I don't know what qualifies something to be a Belgian beer, but unless someone can tell me otherwise, I've been Pat from Pat's Brewery, drinking a fruity Belgian, a cherry wheat beer. Cheers.